This week on Charger Bulletin News, last week's Upstander Walk, recognition of professors who have earned promotions and tenure, it's Athlete Mental Health Week, and Residence Hall closing and summer housing information, right here on Charger Bulletin News. Hello and welcome to Charger Bulletin News. I'm Justin Coviello.
And I'm Emily Lavoie. Let's get into this week's top stories. On Thursday, April 13th, the Myatt Center for Diversity and Inclusion held their annual Upstander Walk to promote community and to educate walkers about underrepresented communities in order to foster a culture on campus. The walk took students, faculty, and staff on a journey across campus, stopping at various points to hear speakers share information, statistics, and advice about what it means to be an upstander for those whom you're standing up for. Speakers along the route included senior psychology major Mary Lippa, senior business management major Cora Cogiel, counseling and psychological services clinician Albai Beshi, and dean of students and vice president of student affairs Ophelia Rowe Allen. The event was organized by Timothy Prince, the Diversity and Inclusion and Leadership Coordinator at the Myatt Center. He views the symbolism of the event as an important way to draw awareness to this Upstander initiative, saying, quote, "I think that symbolism means a lot. I think that even if we're not paying a certain amount of money towards a certain organization or cause, just for the sake of taking the time out of our day to put effort and time into a cause like that, I think it makes a big difference," end quote. Attendants were treated to a luncheon in the Myatt Center after the walk, which Rowe Allen says as a great opportunity to tell stories and learn how to be an upstander through learning and each other. She said, quote, "So what I'm encouraging you all to do is to stay a few more minutes, and if you could continue the conversation, you may have stories to tell. What you have learned today, we want to sprinkle it all around and spread it and let it grow so that others may be able to see the work that we are all doing at the University of New Haven campus," end quote. For a full recap, you can read more in the latest edition of the Charger Bulletin newspaper or on chargerbulletin.com.
On Monday morning, the Office of the Chancellor sent out an email regarding members of the faculty who were promoted, granted tenure, and awarded emeritus status. Tenure and promotions will go into effect on September 1st of this year. Jeff Debbies Carl, Claire Glynn, and Maria Cherny Butzeo served as associate professors, but have now been promoted to the full professor rank due to high performance, excellence in education, scholarship, and dedication to their service at the university. Paul Bourgeois, Jason Jordan, Rosemary Lillianne Macias, Alyssa Marsico, and Jeffrey Treisman have been promoted to associate professor and been awarded tenure after demonstrating excellence in and out of the classroom. Gil Fried, David Harding, Jean Nacito Goebel, Timothy Pombeck, Michael Salaby, and Chang Lu Wang have earned the status of Professor Emeritus, which is a prestigious distinction for educators who have served the university, the students, and cultivated distinguished careers. If you have the opportunity, it's worth congratulating these faculty members on these important career achievements.
This week, Counseling and Psychological Services and the Student Athlete Advisory Committee have been hosting events for Athlete Mental Health Week. This week is meant to take the time to recognize student athletes who train both their minds and bodies throughout the semester and face unique challenges as a student population. Throughout the week, the community wellness advocates from CAPS have been hosting small events, and on Wednesday, the Dean of Students Office held a courageous conversation focused on student-athlete mental health over Zoom. While taking this week to recognize the needs of student athletes has been important, it is equally important to keep in mind beyond weeks like these. Counseling resources are available throughout the semester for all students. If you are interested in connecting with counseling services, you can schedule an appointment with CAPS online, through Navigate, or by phone at 203-932-7333. CAPS is also partnered with Thriving Campus to help connect its interested students with off-campus care providers. You can view a full provider directory online at newhaven.thrivingcampus.com.
The end of the semester is coming up fast, which means many students must consider summer housing between classes and studying for finals. With the spring semester comes commencement for graduating seniors who will have an alternate move-out time. All non-graduating residential students should be aware that residential halls will close on Wednesday, May 10th at 10 p.m. Meanwhile, graduating students have two separate move-out times depending on their commencement ceremony. Students participating in the morning ceremony should be aware that their residences will close at 10 p.m. on Saturday, May 13th, while students participating in the afternoon ceremony will be able to remain in their residences until 10 a.m. on Sunday, May 14th. If you're hoping to stay in housing for the summer, you must fill out the Summer 2023 housing application that is available through My Housing. Applications must be submitted by Tuesday, April 25th for consideration.
Beyond the application, you must meet one of the following requirements in order to be considered for summer housing. If you are a student enrolled in a summer course, you must upload a copy of your class schedule with your application. If you are a student enrolled in a university-sponsored internship, you must have a faculty or staff member that is overseeing your internship email Caitlin Burris, the Assistant Director of Residential Operations at kburrus@newhaven.edu from a university account, or upload an approval letter on a New Haven letterhead document. If you are a student worker who is employed full-time by the university, you must have your supervisor email Assistant Director Burris from a New Haven email account. If you are an orientation leader, SERV program, or fellowship program student, you must have your information provided by the appropriate supervising or coordinating office to be eligible. If you are a graduate student, you may also be eligible for summer housing. If you are a student with an extenuating circumstance that wasn't covered by that list, you must upload supporting documentation with your application, as well as information about your circumstances to be reviewed. Make sure you fill out your application on time by Tuesday to be considered. And now we'll head over to Justin with an introduction to the theater program's latest production. What are we looking at, Justin?
After months of preparation, the theater department's semesterly production is finally here. This semester, they will be performing a rendition of the hit Broadway musical Godspell. Originally composed in 1970 by Stephen Schwartz, Godspell is a production which depicts the story of Jesus Christ's last 7 days through interpretations of parables from the Gospel according to St. Matthew. Starring in the show will be Chad Cellini, a senior forensic science major, as Jesus, and Jose J.R. Resto, a junior criminal justice major, as John the Baptist and Judas. Showings of the musical are scheduled for Wednesday, April 19th, Thursday, April 20th, Friday, April 21st, and Saturday, April 22nd, each slated for 7:30 p.m. Tickets for the show are $5 for University of New Haven students, $10 for university faculty, staff, seniors, and those who serve or have served in the military, and general admission is $15. So come out and support your fellow students who put so much effort into making this production come to life by coming to see a show or two. Back to you, Emily.
It's time for the Black Student Union to host their annual Sankofa Ball event, and this year it's something a little extra special. This year marks the 50th anniversary of founding of the Black Student Union. This event is touted as a major highlight of Black and Latino Alumni Weekend and is set to be hosted on Saturday at 7 p.m. in the Beckerman Recreation Center. The importance of this event is one that is deeply connected with the Black Student Union as an organization, which holds the motto, quote, "Looking back at our past in order to shape the future," end quote. This motto is rooted in the concept of Sankofa, which, quote, teaches us that we must visit our roots in order to move forward in the future. It also communicates that we should reach back and gather the best of what our past has to teach us, so that we can achieve our full potential as we move forward, end quote. Not only is this the 50th anniversary of BSU, but the ball is taking place during Black and Latino Alumni Weekend, which includes upcoming events like tonight's Mix, Pride, Drag, and Cosplay Extravaganza, the Carne Asada by the Latin American Student Association and the Caribbean Student Association fashion show on Friday, Saturday's Women of Color Awards event, and Sunday's Step Show and Stroll Show. Tickets to the Sankofa Ball are $5 for students and $50 for faculty and staff. You can reserve your seat through the registration link provided on My Charger under the Happening on Campus tab.
Coming up next, entertainment updates, a record store day from the Music Industry Club and Rain Records, an annual women's business pitch competition is tonight, and the Kick for a Cause event is this weekend. But first, we'll go to Will Hink with this week's Charger Sports Report. What's going on this week, Will?
We have a lot to cover this week, so let's get into it. Starting with the crosstown homestand against Southern Connecticut State University. I followed this weekend's crosstown rivalry series starting Thursday evening at Kathy Zolat Stadium.
Lacrosse opened the festivities with a 19-12 win against the Owls. Sophomore Reagan Bailey scored 5 goals in this game, putting her above 100 goals in her collegiate career. She is the 4th Charger to score 100 goals in her first 2 years. The lacrosse team sits at the 6th seed in the conference with a 4-3 conference record and a 7-5 overall. Softball split their doubleheader against the Owls. They lost the first game 5-0 and won the second game 4-1. Despite committing 2 errors in both games, the Chargers were able to hold on to some consistency. They sit at the 8th seed in the conference with an 8-8 conference record and a 12-23 overall. Baseball dropped 3 games out of 4 to the Owls. Game 1 was a close affair until SCSU delivered a crippling blow in the form of a grand slam that put them up by 4. New Haven's only win was a 7-1 blowout where the 4 different Chargers had at least 1 RBI. After these games, New Haven sits at 2nd in the Southwest Division with a 7-5 conference record and a 21-9 overall.
Women's tennis also had a homestand against Wilmington University and Stonehill College. They won their first match against Wilmington 4-3, but lost their last match to Stonehill 4-1. That's all for this week's Charger Sports Report. I'm Will Hink, and now we'll head to Sadara Funchess for this week's entertainment updates. What's going on this week, Sadara?
Thanks, Will. Mark your calendars for May 12th as The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is set to be released exclusively for the Nintendo Switch family of systems. It is no shock that this game won 2022's Game Award for the most anticipated game, as this is a direct sequel of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was released in 2017. This new gameplay looks at new enemies and even ground level and flying vehicles. It's story heavy and shows the return of Ganon as the main antagonist. It appears as though Zelda may be missing while Ganon is back in full power and laying waste to the kingdom. Link is the final line of defense and will team up with friends and champions to fight off the encroaching forces and hopefully save Princess Zelda. Tears of the Kingdom's main difference to its predecessor appears to be its focus on the skies, so it's unsurprising that Link will be able to skydive. This new mechanic can be used to scout out new locations and to quickly return to the surface after exploring a sky island. After being delayed in February 2023, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is finally here for good on April 28th for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. Star Wars Jedi Survivor continues the story of Cal Kestis as he fights across the galaxy trying to keep the Jedi way alive. Hunted by Inquisitors and growing more powerful with the Force each day, he sets off on a new journey to reignite rebellion against the Empire and the Sith. Star Wars Jedi Survivor takes place 5 years after the Fallen Order, placing it right around the events of the Disney Plus show Kenobi. Not much is known about the period leading up to the training of Luke Skywalker, besides the few Jedi that are in hiding and running from Darth Vader's Inquisitors. Don't miss out, as this game will tie up the canon lore for future shows, movies, and games. And set for later this year in August, Disney Plus announced that Ahsoka will be released on streaming. This highly anticipated series is set to follow Ahsoka Tano, a Jedi who has been seen in The Mandalorian, The Clone Wars, and Star Wars Rebels. Ahsoka and Ezra Bridger are reunited after last being seen fighting against Grand Admiral Thrawn at the end of Star Wars Rebels. Release trailers showed us Ahsoka in battle against droids, character-wielding red-bladed lightsabers, Mon Mothma, and the ancient droid Huyang, once again voiced by David Tennant. The anticipation and speculation are unparalleled compared to the recent Star Wars releases. The addition of these characters to the live-action Star Wars universe has left fans thrilled as they are eager to watch the story unfold. That's all for this week in entertainment. Back to you guys at the desk.
On Saturday, the Music Industry Club and the university record label Rain Records are hosting a Record Store Day open mic event in the Sheffield Gazebo from 1 to 4 p.m. Following the release of the record label's EP, All at Once, in December, and some recent new releases, it's time to showcase the talent being cultivated by students in the warmer weather. All at Once is a collection of music from the various artists that are signed to Rain Records, including Ayumi, Malachi McLegend, Chris Chase, Big Tuesday, and Final Call. The EP was released on streaming platforms, but this Saturday it will be available for sale as a CD. The CDs will be sold alongside t-shirts in a pop-up outside of the open mic event, which will be hosting various acoustic sets, as well as a special performance by A Minor at 2 p.m. You can also learn more about the record label and the Music Industry Club at this event. If you're looking forward to the event but are interested in hearing live music sooner rather than later, the Music Industry Club is hosting another open mic this afternoon from 3 to 8 p.m. at the Sheffield Gazebo. Groups of up to 4 people can perform and a keyboard will be provided.
This evening, the Orange campus will be buzzing for the Women in Business Club's annual Entrepreneur Her Business Pitch Competition. Scheduled to start at 5 p.m., the third rendition of this competition will have two features that were first debuted last spring. One being the pitch competition itself, and the second is the vendor pop-up shops from various women-owned businesses who will be showcasing and promoting their products and services. The pitch competition taking place this evening will feature the final 4 competitors who will make their pitch to a panel of judges for the opportunity to win cash prizes. You can RSVP for the event on My Charger under the Happening on Campus tab.
Coming up on Saturday, CeeLo and Health Sciences are hosting their Kick for a Cause event, a philanthropic kickball tournament which will be held at the Kathy Zolad Stadium on campus. The tournament has a $5 entry fee, and the proceeds will be going toward the Make-A-Wish Foundation. From 12:30 to 3:30 p.m., teams of 10 to 12 players will play games of 4 innings with a 10-run mercy rule. Check-in will begin at 12:30 p.m. in front of the German Club, and the first game is slated to begin at 1 p.m., but is subject to change if teams arrive early and are ready to play. If you want to sign up and don't have a full group, you can still participate and be added to an existing group. Placement requests and random placements are accepted. You can purchase a ticket on Eventbrite, and you can find the link and any updates on this event by following the organizers on Instagram at unewhaven_kickball.
On Tuesday, the university will be holding its annual celebration for Founders Day in conjunction with Giving Day. As part of Giving Day, members of the Charger community can make a donation as a way to support students, their education, and their success at the university. If you're interested in making a donation for Giving Day, there is a link on My Charger under the Happening on Campus tab. And as a part of Founders Day, there will be a few celebratory events happening around campus to look forward to. From 8 to 9:30 a.m., there will be a Charger Pride breakfast at the Bartels Student Activity Center patio. In the afternoon, from 12 to 3 p.m., there will be a Charger Pride barbecue on the Gerber-Bixer Quad and a Charger Pride Festival happening in the parking lot behind Anamone and Stephen Kaplan Hall. The current weather forecast isn't promising for these outdoor activities, so keep an eye on your university email for a potential alert about location changes for these events.
That's all the time we have for this week.
You could check out the latest Charger Bulletin newspaper on chargerbulletin.com or in newsstands around campus.
Stay up to date by following us on social media at Charger Bulletin.
Check out our link tree for access to the Horseshoe magazine.
Thank you for joining us this week. Next week will be our final show of the semester, so be sure to tune in. I'm Justin Coviello.
And I'm Emily Lavoie. We'll see you next time on Charger Bulletin News.